guys, thanks for checking out the video today. Today's a new video on, I've got an M1, 2016 M1. Long story short, I want the 2017, but an opportunity came up to get the 2016 one. And I just want to see what it's like, because I've done a lot of research and it looks like they both perform about the same. So I want to see how I like this one, use it for a while, and possibly use it for a trade up for a 2017 in the future. Long story short, I sold a few clubs that I used to pick up this one. So I got it for $220, but I sold about $240 worth of clubs, and so it's really cost me nothing today. In the long term, it did cost me money anyway. But what I'll do is I'll commentate over some of the shots I do and talk to you about it. But I'm here at the Big Easy at Castledon or Fitzgibbon. I'm not too sure, something like that. But they've had a bit of storm damages. They've lost a lot of the shade sails there, and you can see on this side, me and some other guy down there, and looks like a truckie's outfit. I've got no idea. But look, it's the 9.5, I'll do a little slow-mo down below. 9.5, I think it's the 460 head, the popular one. It's in pretty good condition, can't complain. Just got Artie at Virginia to put on the multi-compound grip yesterday for like 4 wraps. And I'm also using my hybrid down there too, just a bit of a warm-up. So I'm here on my lunch break. Got 50 balls for 11 bucks, can't complain, but yeah, so I'll talk to you afterwards how it's going. Alrighty guys, so I picked up this driver for $220 delivered from a bloke called Chris. I won't use his last name. He sells a lot of gear online on Facebook and on some of the buy sell swap pages, not the other one that's notorious for kicking people out. Yeah, so he actually overnighted it from Perth, included in the price, which I was amazed at. So he sent it Wednesday afternoon. It arrived Thursday morning at like 9 o'clock on the doorstep from Perth. And if you're in Queensland or if you're in Australia, it's basically the equivalent of LA to New York for our country, one side of the country to the other. Right off the bat, I actually don't mind how this feels. I've used it before and I quite like it. I actually find the lighter crown always gives me more height. I don't know why. Those few extra grams, less grams, it almost enables me to get a little bit more height naturally. I've actually got it set in draw to favour a draw bias and also height. So I've got it fully, basically the weight fully in the heel and the weight as far back as it can go. And I'm hitting little baby fades, and I'm hitting some nice solid draws too. So I find this actually distance wise maybe a tad bit further than Mizuno, but the Mizuno one, I just felt that when it goes wrong, it goes really wrong, and there's a bit of ass crack right there, sorry about that, in the work clothes. But look, I actually don't mind it. I mean, this one here, I find the shaft is about half of an inch shorter than the Mizuno one, which was 1.5 inches over standard, but I'm actually liking the fact that I can control it a lot more. And I didn't know this, but a lot of tour players, their drivers are actually cut down lower than standard to get themselves better, you know, to get their better stats, you know, and find fairways more. But I'm hitting the straighter balls, you can see right there. The club itself, I'm actually quite fascinated because I think, well, for me personally, it's the only one on the market I've ever used with the carbon fiber head there. But I'm slowly working my swing there. It's getting better. My weight distribution's almost there. I've got a few more lessons to go before I get that just right, but I'm starting to work on getting there's the arse again, the follow through better. But yeah, look, I did a little bit of report of it afterwards in the car park, but I think this is one of my favorite camera angles here. All those cars going slow in the background. I've got to get my armpits back level with my knees. I know I've got to do that, but it's just being a bigger guy and a lot of weight at the front there. As you can see, the belly, it's gravity. It wants me to fall over that side. But look, I'll get into what I'm going to say, a little bit of a debrief session of the car park. So here we go. Alrighty guys, so that's it. So my conclusion from today, look, I'll be honest. Yesterday I took the club down to Virginia Heritage and I played 9 holes, the M1 driver. And first tee shot was great. Then I started mucking around with the weights and the adjustment tool and stuff. And it just went downhill real fast. Mainly because my stupid process was I wanted to see how the weights were playing for a fade or a draw bias. I want to see what it does. So I hit some bad shots, some extremely bad shots, and then I got back to normal and hit some good shots. But today, 50 balls using that on the range with the tool that got included, hitting them sweet. So you can see that I still have a bit of a baby fade, but not my ridiculous, you know, 350 meters travel distance, but only goes 300 meters in a straight line. I'm going to keep going with it. My plan is to use this club and see if I enjoy it. If I do, I'm going to trade it in on the newer one. Or maybe even a better brand new version of this one here. The shaft is a stock standard Pro extra stiff flex that a guy called Chris sourced for me in Perth. He found it somewhere. I'll get the new grip. The grip that was on it was terrible, and I'm not complaining about it. It's had its life. The grip I put on there is a multi-compound Golf Pride grip with I think 5 wraps. I really, with my driver, because I've got such big hands, I really wanted to make sure I could wrap my arms around, wrap my hands around, not feel like I'm, you know, it's too small. All in all, I'm quite confident. Now, I thought I talked about this. I'm looking at going, I've dropped the 3-wood out of my bag. So right now, my clubs are driver, hybrid, driving iron, then 3-iron to pitching wedge and 2 wedges. I've decided to drop the 3-wood because I rarely use it, and I find that I hit a driving iron and my hybrid as far as a 3-wood anyway. So it's just basically in the bag as an illustration, pretty much. So I've actually adjusted my hybrid down in loft so I can get that extra distance that I want. But I find with the hybrid, it's a lot more forgiving than a 3-wood. A 3-wood really can sky high, where a hybrid, if it's skies high, doesn't go as far. There's a little bit more forgiving, hence the name Rescue Wood. So all in all, I'll get more in depth with it later on, but I thought this is just a short little video to let you know that, what is the TV ad? The I am M1. What is the old ad from a couple of years ago or a year ago? I can't remember, but now I'm officially a Taylormade M1 driver user. And I'm a little excited because actually I've always been fascinated with that carbon fiber crown on the M1. I never used to believe in so much technology until I started buying these clubs and using them myself, comparing them to the old Taylormades that I used to use from 10 years ago. And geez, I'll tell you what, you could be fucking around with these clubs on the driving range having fun and still hit it further than and more straight than when you were trying hard with some of these old clubs. So thanks for watching the video, guys. I think part 4 of Marucci River comes out soon, so I appreciate you watching, and remember to like, share, subscribe. You probably don't do it, I don't care, but yeah, comment below. I like reading comments. So sometimes I'll get 100 views in a day, but you know, 10 thumbs up and no one comments, and if I don't know if you're commenting, I don't know if it's good or not. So I really appreciate when you give me a comment. Thanks, guys.